Finally over. After months of back and forth, there is a new agreement tonight that separates the city of Highfill and the Northwest Arkansas National Airport. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman went to a specially called meeting tonight.
That's right, Darren. Tonight, the City Council approved a formal order that will detach certain properties from the city.
Yes. Allen?
Yes.
Ireland?
The agreement allows Highfill to still pay off its water and sewer bonds while also allowing the airport to move forward.
We're going to pay these bonds off in the next 5 years, where normally they'd be paid off 2047.
Highfill Mayor Chris Holland says this agreement allows Highfill to continue collecting a 2% sales tax from the airport, but only until a certain date.
By 2030, December of 31st of 2030, the airport will be done paying taxes.
Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport CEO Aaron Burks sent 5 News this statement. This final agreement marks a meaningful step forward for Northwest Arkansas. We found a solution that respects the interests of all parties and strengthens our region's future. We're grateful for the collaboration that made this possible and excited to keep building momentum for the entire region. Mayor Holland says this deal will also allow the city to make its own choices.
It gives us stability. It lets us make our own decisions. It allows us to, as long as the city, the council, and myself, if we make the budget correctly for the next 5 years, the city will be able to survive all this.
Mayor Holland says he's relieved this is all over.
The airport can go into their business, don't have to worry about going to court or going to legislative sessions, and in return, Highfill can do the same thing. You know, it took up a lot of our time, my time, the council's time, lawyers' time, to battle this. So it's good that it's over with now, for not only for City Highfill, but also for the airport. There's still a future, and the city knows there's a future, and the city can start making plans, whether water, sewer upgrades, road upgrades, so we just don't have this cloud hanging over us no more.
Mayor Holland also told me he is really happy for the residents of his town and how they can officially move forward. Laura Castleman, 5 News.
All right, Laura, thanks. We have been showing you this incredible surveillance video all evening from the hospital in Sallisaw during last night's storms. Now, the director of the operations at Northeastern Health System says all that damage happened in about 15 seconds. Despite damage covering 40% of the hospital, crews worked through the night into this morning and had the ER, the medical labs, and the x-ray areas all back open within a short amount of time. Now, other buildings that were damaged include a food kitchen, local car wash, and some homes. Street lights were out on Cherokee Street for most of the day today. Most of the debris in the road is cleared up, but it will take more time before power is restored to all street signs. In Washington County, a new emergency operations center is now officially up and running. Inside, there are advanced meeting spaces, fully equipped operations room, a short-term living quarters for emergency situations. The facility also features state-of-the-art technology, ensuring uninterrupted operations.
This building will stand and have redundancies to have the technology available. This building will have those types of things where we can monitor situations and make sure we're most efficiently allocating those emergency resources if they're needed. That's what this building stands for, and we're really excited about it.
Judge says the plan is to have staff working there as soon as possible. Continuing coverage of the agriculture crisis across Arkansas, farmers, rising costs, and a struggling market have left many in dire need of support, reaching out for any lifeline that they can get. Maya Ellison digs deeper now into what's causing this incoming crisis and what's being done to fix it.
We're beyond ripple, we're beyond crisis, we're to tsunami.
Row crop farmers across Arkansas are sounding the alarm, pushing for help before it's too late.
We're looking at 1 to 3 farms. 1 out of every 3 farms going out of business right now.
Representative and farmer herself, Deanne Vaught, explains the message her and other agriculture leaders discussed during Tuesday's public meeting in Stuttgart. They say it's a tough situation for farms, many of which have been around for decades.
The heartache of having to decide if I can carry on with the 5th generation farm or the 4th generation farm, and knowing that it lands on me if I don't move forward. That is a lot for a farmer to carry on their shoulders.
Now, despite a recent report from the U of A Systems Division of Agriculture showing net farm income expected to rise 22% this year, experts like Jeremy Ross say the math on the ground tells a different story.
At $10
and you harvest a 55 bushel crop, that's $550, and it costs you $580 to put that in, then you're $30 in the hole.
Meaning many farmers are operating at a loss with debts that carry over year to year.
The truth is, it doesn't really matter what you grow. You are projected to lose money on an acre, really no matter what you've planted on it.
Brandy Carroll with the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation says inflation, tariffs, and global conflicts have all driven up costs, while crop prices remain depressed. And while experts say the Big Beautiful Bill Act will provide $66 billion in new farm investment starting in 2026, Carroll says by then it's too late.
And so they're facing a really hard choice right now, how to keep their families on their farm and how to maintain their way of life. And so there will be a lot of people making really hard choices.
That was Maya Ellison reporting. Now, last week, Arkansas Senator John Bozeman says he and other local lawmakers said they are hopeful that some kind of funding can be agreed upon as Congress tries to avoid a government shutdown. Meanwhile, in Faulkner County, Mayflower becoming the second city in Arkansas now to adopt the Firefighters' Bill of Rights. This comes after a bill was passed by the state legislature this year to give guidelines to managing firehouses. It's just a recommendation, and cities can choose whether to adopt this. Mayflower's fire marshal says they were inspired by the first city to do it last month.
We saw what Fayetteville was able to accomplish, and granted, we're nowhere near the size of Fayetteville, but the same protections are just as important to them as they are to us.
Highfill City Council passed a Bill of Rights ordinance on August 19th. That bill contains protections for firefighters undergoing disciplinary hearings, as well as being able to express political views off the clock. Developing tonight, one detainee is dead. Two more are in serious condition following a shooting around 7 this morning at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office in Dallas. Yvonne Rodriguez tells us the FBI is now investigating this deadly incident as an act of targeted violence.
Outside a Dallas ICE facility, multiple gunshots rang out Wednesday morning as a woman waited in her car for her mom to finish an immigration appointment. The Department of Homeland Security says a, quote, sniper identified by sources as 29-year-old Joshua Jan fired at the ICE facility from a nearby rooftop, shooting 3 detainees, then himself.
No law enforcement was injured.
Officials have given little information about a possible motive, yet Vice President J.D. Vance blamed inflammatory rhetoric from Democratic leaders and the media.
An Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility was opened fire upon by a violent left-wing extremist, a person who wrote anti-ICE messaging on their bullets, and there's some evidence that we have that's not yet public, but we know this person was politically motivated.
Republican Senator Ted Cruz called for an end to political violence.
To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop.
This shooting was at least the 4th instance of violence or threat at an ICE or Customs and Border Protection facility in Texas this year. One of those instances was a bomb threat in August at the same facility where Wednesday's shooting took place.
We're a country and a city that needs prayer.
In Dallas, Texas, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.